Hello. Let's do a quick and brief rundown on how we navigate the software a little bit more. And bear with me, I'm using a new recording software, so it may not be as smooth as I've typically done in the past. I need to adjust something. Here we go. Set project path, uh, and make sure that I'm doing things properly. Again, this is meant to be something helpful and to go through and show you some things about the software that will make your life easier, like online editing and things like that. So I'm just setting up for my little trainer in the back, everything. So a couple of things that I just want to point out, like this is a simple timer circuit, okay? You can find all these commands up here in the address bar. Sometimes though I'm lazy and I don't always like looking for the commands. So if I go down here and double click, you'll notice that right here along here, let me highlight. About if I double click, you'll see a space show up here that you can type in directly. If you don't want to spend all your time looking for things, but you know the command, so say there's a command that I know called a NOP, which means no operation. Instead of looking for it, I just type in it. Or say if I want to set up a XIC with a tag that I'm aware of, I can type in directly XIC, and then I can type in my bool name, and then I could just go on and keep typing, let's say CTU, counter C1, preset 5000 or preset 50, and go from there. Look, everything populates. Now, if I didn't, I still have an undefined tag, but at least my structure is there if I know my commands. And again, I've shown this before, but let me show you again. This may not be the best use of your memory space, but in a quick and dirty pinch, if you type out the names of the stuff that you want, right-click on it, and then go to new bool, and it'll automatically set the data type you need and that name. The only thing you might want to change is whether you want it to be a program or a controller tag. This would be a program tag. This would be a controller tag. One's global, one's local only. So, I get tied up sometimes, and I've done things with like more advanced processes where you need to do controller tags, and I've done this in a pinch and not set my controller tags. So keep that in mind. Same is true here. Here we go, new, counter, and everything's good. So just typing things out. Now, another thing you may notice, like right here on this line, right here. So still trying to figure out my new, so right here on this line, right there. These are kind of the setups that, so if you want to get rid of like your hardware tags, you hit that, it all disappears. If you want to, so one of the things I've shown you before, if you right click on a bit, you can go to edit main operand description. And you can say, this is the enable bits. Hit the question and check mark, and that will show up there. Well, if I hit this, it will change the format of that. Okay? So I can center, truncate, left, truncate, just all depends. Or I can just right click. So this is formatting stuff right here. And if I can get rid of I can clean things up by just hitting this button right here. You see everything goes away. Okay? So that's another handy thing. I've showed you this in the past to edit run comments. You can give this rung is awesome. But again, that shows up here at the top here. And again, if I hit this, it hides everything. Okay? Couple other fun, let's talk about online edits. So I'm going to download this to my processor. It's going to take a second to connect the device. And now it's downloading. Okay. So I go to run mode, and now everything's hunky-dory, and I can just, it operates like normal. Okay. And so if I, toggle this bit, toggle bit, it counts up, everything's working. Okay. Toggle bit. Now, let's say I actually wanted this to be PB1. How we do an online edit? First things first is we double click on the rung. You'll notice that there is two rungs that look exactly the same. There's an I rung and an R rung. The I rung is the one that you're going to change. So this one changes, and this one is removed, to say it bluntly. So I make all of my changes in the I rung, not the R rung. If I try to make changes, it won't work. So if I want to change this to, change this to PB1, everything operates like normal. So local, PB1. I can just have PB1. All right. And so now I can do this is a 1-step / 2-step process. If you notice up here, another box showed up. This is my online edit setup. Okay. And if you look, this is if I want to accept the rung edits. This is if I want to remove rung edits. So say I screwed up. This is what I click. So let me clear my drawings. If I hit this box, it's going to tell me, do I want to cancel? And I do, and now everything's back to normal. So let me try this again. Everything's still the same, PB1. And if I hit, so if I hit this, it's to say, do I accept the pending edits of the program? I hit yes. Now, nothing has changed, but you notice now it's an uppercase letter versus a lowercase letter. This means the changes have been accepted, but the changes haven't been implemented. It kind of gives you a one last, do you really want to do this moment? You can test the rung edits, and this is a way of keeping what you had before and testing to see things work. And you can see now the green goes over the I and it bypasses the R. And then if that works, you can just click this box right here, and that finalizes all your edits. So outputs, and if you hit yes, now everything, that R is gone and the I remains. That's how you do online edits. Now, again, you'll have to be in remote mode, either remote run or remote program, in order to make edits. If I'm just in straight up run, it won't work. You can also lock the controller to keep all edits from going on. That's by right here. So you can't, so someone else can't go in and lock things. All right. A couple other things I want to mention right here, controller properties. If I open this, this is when I can identify faults and minor faults. I can also identify the date and time. So if I want to change the date and time, I can change it right here like this and change it to, whenever I want to go back in time, and there it is. I can also just set it directly from the computer that I'm working with. Oh, I can't change this within a 15-second interval, so I got to wait 15 seconds. Let me try it again. There we go. And you can adjust for daylight savings time. Let me try to simulate a fault. And let's just show you how to clear a fault. This is always fun. So the best thing that I can think of about to do a fault is, let's do, this is something you may not have seen before, but just roll with it for me. I'm gonna do an add command. So I'm gonna create a simple integer just because. It'll help me do the math error. I'm gonna add 1 to it, and I'm gonna put it back into that. Okay? If I hit accept, you'll see this keeps going. It's not giving me the math command issue I was looking for. See, this is hard. I know when the errors happen how to do it. Let me try this. So right now I have an IO error, and if I click on here, you can look at the fault. You can look for IO faults, and you can see, oh, it did give me an error, just as a non-fatal error. Sweet. See the program, the errors that just showed up in the program, arithmetic overthrow, because arithmetic's out of range. In old processors, it might have actually faulted the controller. I think we have it set up as a minor fault, and you can see all the faults keep, auto ranging. If I want to click on the IO faults, it's going to show me it's going to give me IO faults. If it, let me delete this. And notice, if I want to delete, the D's will show up, and then it works the same way. Okay? So now let me go into here to major faults. If I had other PLCs, I could do this. So if I look here, I can clear out my minor faults. Let's see. Let me go into major faults, and let me try something. So I have a little handy dandy little screwdriver right here, and I'm going to turn this off. And if you look in the back here, all these PLCs have an end cap. And what I am going to do is I'm going to try to remove the end cap. Actually, let me just screwdriver is too small. Okay, let's see. That'll work. So all I did was disconnected one of my IO cards in the backplane, because if you don't have the end cap on, it's going to give you an error. So watch what happens if I try to download a new processor. If I turn this on. So it's going to res diagnostic. But if it doesn't have an end cap saying that it's the end of the backplane, it's going to give you an error. And you'll notice that once I start, I'm going to hit cancel so it's not searching. But let me go into download. Hopefully it's online in a second. And if you notice carefully, and it's be hard to see, there's a blinking IO light that's saying that it's not holding solid. And we'll connect to the device and see. Hopefully. Try it again. Let me go download. It should connect. So okay. So notice, can't download to a faulty controller. It wants you to clear the fault and try again. So if I want to clear a fault, I have to first go online. Okay? And when I go online, it's going to allow me to see this here. And I have to click on the controller properties button. And you can see it's an IO fault. At least one connection is not established for going to run mode. It's looking for that end cap. So I would need to clear the fault and then I could try again. It probably won't let me download. See, it's not letting me download because there's still a fault there. I need to fix it first. Okay, so let me go back to fixing it. And so now, let me go offline. I cleared the major fault. I'm going to go offline again. And let me go back online to see if the fault's been cleared. Yeah, compact IO end cap is missing, was the IO fault there, if you notice. But now it should be there. You might need to recycle power. Let me clear faults. I hit OK. Go offline. Let me try to download. So now I can download. Once I go online, clear the fault, make sure everything's good, I can then download. But that happens quite a bit. Having that little, especially on the little processors with the little sliding end caps. The little sliding end caps that look like this. I swear students lose these things all the time. And there's a little bit of a nub right there, if you can see that fits in there, say that the end cap has been made. But that's how you clear like controller faults if you can't download. All right. So if I do this again, let me go offline. I'll show you how to do this one more time. So I'm gonna go offline. I'm gonna disconnect that control. I'm gonna disconnect the IO. Okay. Disconnect the IO. I'm gonna hit download. It's gonna give me an error. If I download, it's gonna give me an error. Possibly. But it's got to be a minor fault, end cap missing. So if on startup, if it's not there, it freaks out, but now it's there, it's just not missing. You still can do stuff, but you got to clear the minor fault, and that's, but okay, that's how you clear faults. And so on and so forth, all right? Making edits, clearing faults. I'm trying to think, some of these other commands, controller properties, anything else I need to show off. Yeah, one other thing. If I have a project that I like and I want to if I right click on the main routine, I can export that routine. This allows me to open it on other controllers easier and allows me to do other, things with it. I can rename it test, but it gets saved as an L5X file, ladder 5X file. And if I hit export, it's going to just take the logic and the hardware and it's exported out. So I'm going to open up RSLogix 5000 just to show you, because that's the older form. Also, one of the things I'll point out too, under this, if I want to change your controller type, so say I got a different revision number or different controller, all I got to do is hit change controller. Here, find my controller. So like a, say a BBE, I have one of these, I hit OK. It's going to ask me, do you really want to do this? I hit OK. And now it's going to automatically change everything for me. Sometimes it works good, sometimes it doesn't. Just keep that in mind. So yeah, it does take a second for this to kind of reboot and reload. But I am now in RSLogix 5000. I'm going to open I'm just open a new program, or I'm going to create a new program. Doesn't matter what I do it on. So, all right, how many chassis, whatever. I can play around with that later. I just want to show you that how you import in Logic. And look, now you can see that this has been changed, and all the I/O has been changed, but the point I/O remains. So if you have any hardware, it changes, but notice the addressing is still kind of consistent. It just, you may need to tweak some stuff. All right, so if I want to edit properties, I can go in here to alias and change it to something else. So like local 1, data 0 in this case. Hit apply and OK. And there you go, fixed. Same with that light there. OK. But I'm in RSLogix now. If I right-click on main repo, I can import a routine. So I went to main program, right-clicked, import routine, and it's going to pull open, and it's going to look for L5K files. And see, it's going to look for that. Oh, L5X, sorry. But here we go. I'm going to click on that one we just exported. And I'm going to import it into main routine. I'm going to import it into files, and I can go ahead and import. It's going to ask me, do you want to overwrite the main routine? Do I want, so you say, OK. It's creating the tags. Now look. It's got all my stuff there. Why is it giving me errors? Well, because I don't have any hardware attached. So it's kind of, if I go to my tags, if I right-click on here and hit verify rung, it's going to say reference tag undefined. So if I click on that, it takes me right there. So here's another handy thing. If you see ease, don't know what it is, right-click on it, hit verify, and it'll give you what the error is that you can click on directly and show you what it is. So it helps you debug programs easier. Same here. I can right-click on this, verify rung, and it's telling me that this here is set up. And the reason why it's an error, because I have nothing in my I/O. But at least my logic is there. So that's a handy little trick to help transport logic by just exporting the routines. This is the way you can debug the program. One last thing you can do is if you can, where is it? Search. You can do a find. You can cross-reference. So for instance, these are also helpful tools if you have a bigger program. You can cross-reference to see everywhere in the program a bit is located. You can also just go find. And if I want to find PB1, it's going to take me to the 2 places. All right. If I want to cross-reference, there it's going to show me in PB1 everywhere it is in the main program. Hopefully. May take a second, but those are some helpful tools in helping you navigate. I hope this is good. And if you have any questions, hit me up.